Yo, 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 your boy's back with another banger, and today we talking about some divine intervention type stuff. Kendrick just sold out Argentina like it was a corner store, no cap. Just like Messi be gliding on that field like he got cheat codes activated, Kendrick moves with that supernatural, God-given, I didn't even try but I'm still better than you type energy. Meanwhile, Drake somewhere in his feelings posting thirst traps on the gram begging for relevance like he applying for food stamps, while Ronaldo in an ice bath at 3 a.m. working himself to death trying to match what these two blessed kings do while they sleep. What I'm about to break down ain't just about music or sports, fam. This about the difference between being chosen by the heavens and being a tryhard. This about natural genius versus manufactured success. This about why some legends whisper and still shake the earth while others scream and nobody cares. Today we diving deep into what separates the blessed from the stressed, the gifted from the grifters, and why Kendrick and Messi represent something that Drake and even the GOAT Ronaldo can never replicate. Effortless greatness that got people thinking these boys made a deal with the universe. Let's start with that Argentina concert, cause what happened there wasn't just a show, it was a religious experience. Kendrick Lamar, a young king from Compton, walked onto that stage in Buenos Aires and had 50,000 Argentines moving like he was their pastor. No fancy stage setup, no guest appearances, no social media campaign, just pure, uncut, premium grade talent, speaking that universal language that make people catch the fire. This man performed Not Like Us and watched the whole stadium turn into his personal choir. These wasn't just fans singing, this was spiritual warfare. You could see people getting emotional, catching feelings, having moments. This what happens when divine talent meets authentic artistry. It's like magic, but legal. But here's the crazy part. Kendrick looked comfortable as hell up there. Not comfortable like somebody who done this before, but comfortable like somebody who was born for this. Like Messi receiving a pass in the box, Kendrick moved with that natural confidence that can't be taught at no master class. No desperate crowd work, no begging for energy, no manufactured moments, just a man and his gift speaking directly to souls. Same way Messi don't need to scream at his teammates or beat his chest after every goal, true greatness don't need a microphone. If you enjoying this breakdown of divine talent versus desperate energy, smash that subscribe button. We about to dive into why some people blessed and others just stressed. Now peep this. Watch Messi on the ball and tell me that ain't supernatural. Physics say a human being shouldn't be able to change direction that quick while keeping perfect control. Science say those moves should be impossible. But there go Messi, making the impossible look routine, making grown defenders look like kids chasing butterflies. It's the same with Kendrick's wordplay. Linguistics say you shouldn't be able to layer that many meanings into one bar. Music theory say those rhythmic patterns shouldn't work. But there go Kendrick, bending language like Messi bends reality, creating art that defies logic. Both these kings got something that can't be taught. They make the extraordinary look ordinary. They got what can only be described as supernatural gifts wrapped in humble packages. They moving like they got a dim innexes to life. They don't perform greatness, they just are great. There's a godly quality to what they do that make it look easy, even when we know it's hard. They blessed with that I woke up like this energy, while everybody else struggling with that fake it till you make it stress. And that's where we see the difference between the effortless legends and everybody else. Kendrick and Messi don't gotta convince nobody they great. Their aura do the talking. Now hold up, before we go further, let's give flowers where flowers due. Cristiano Ronaldo represents a different kind of greatness, and that deserves respect. What Ronaldo accomplished through pure grind, dedication, and almost inhuman work ethic is absolutely incredible. This man transformed himself from a talented but raw teenager into a goal-scoring machine through pure determination. 5 Ballon d'Ors, over 800 career goals, success at every club he touched. At 39 years old, he's still performing at levels that make players half his age look lazy. Whew. Ronaldo's greatness comes from his refusal to accept limitations. While other players partying, he in the gym. While others resting, he perfecting his craft. While others making excuses, he making history. His dedication is legendary. His work ethic is unmatched. But here's the thing about Ronaldo's path. You can see the effort. You can see the work, the grinding, the constant pursuit of perfection. It's beautiful in its own way, but it's different from what Messi and Kendrick possess. Ronaldo had to become great. Messi and Kendrick were born great. That ain't disrespect to Ronaldo. If anything, it makes his achievements more impressive. He took natural talent and multiplied it through pure will. He proved that the grind can compete with divine gifts. But the difference is visible. When Ronaldo scores a spectacular goal, you can see the years of practice that went into that moment. When Messi scores, it looked like witchcraft. When Ronaldo celebrates, it's the release of all that built-up effort. When Messi celebrates, it's almost casual, like he expected it. Both approaches lead to greatness, but they feel different. One is earned through sweat and sacrifice, the other seems gifted from the heavens. Make sure y'all subscribed, because we about to roast Drake's desperate energy. And then there's Drake. Oh, Drake. If Ronaldo represents the beautiful grind, Drake represents the desperate scramble for relevance. While Kendrick selling out stadiums through pure artistry, Drake on Instagram posting thirst traps like he auditioning for Love Island. The contrast is embarrassing. Kendrick drops Not Like Us and disappears, letting the music speak. Drake drops anything and immediately starts a social media campaign begging for streams like he collecting unemployment. Watch how these two move. Kendrick gives interviews maybe twice a year, and when he do, he speak with the quiet confidence of somebody who knows his worth. Drake on social media every day, posting cryptic messages, starting fake beefs, acting like a teenager desperate for likes. Kendrick's success feels organic, inevitable, natural. Drake's success feels manufactured, forced, artificial. One is a river flowing naturally to the ocean. The other is a dam trying to redirect the water. The ghostwriting allegations, the manufactured beefs, the constant need for validation, it all points to somebody who trying to create greatness instead of just being great. Drake is the musical equivalent of somebody who gotta tell you they rich instead of just being wealthy. Boy moving like he insecure, like he afraid if he stop making noise, people gon' forget about him. And maybe he right to be afraid, cause manufactured success requires constant maintenance. Here's what separates the effortless legends from the desperate attention seekers. They don't need to convince nobody of their greatness. Their work do the talking. Kendrick don't need to post studio sessions on the gram. His albums speak for themselves. Messi don't need to create social media drama. His performances speak for themselves. They operate with that quiet confidence that comes from knowing you blessed with supernatural talent. This ain't arrogance, it's the opposite. True confidence is quiet because it don't need external validation. When you know you blessed with godly talent, you don't need to prove it to nobody. The gift proves itself. Look how Kendrick handled the Drake situation. He didn't start no social media campaign. He didn't do interviews talking about how he was gonna destroy Drake. He just dropped Not Like Us and let the bars do the talking. That's the move of somebody who knows his power. Compare that to how Drake operates. Constant social media posts, manufactured controversies, desperate attempts to stay relevant. It's the behavior of somebody who afraid that if they stop making noise, people gonna forget about them. And the funniest part? Drake probably still listening to Not Like Us, trying to figure out how to respond. Boy been in the studio for a year and still ain't found an answer. That's cause there is no answer when you get spiritually violated. Hit that subscribe button cause we about to break down why authentic greatness always beats manufactured success. But here's what makes Kendrick and Messi even more special. They humble about their gifts. They don't act like they better than everybody. They don't flaunt their success. They just quietly go about their business, letting their work speak. Both are family men who avoid the spotlight when they're not performing. Both speak through their craft rather than through social media. Both seem genuinely surprised by their own success, like they can't believe they've been blessed with these supernatural abilities. That humility is what makes their greatness so pure. They're not performing greatness for attention. They're not using their gifts to feed their egos. They simply sharing their talents with the world and letting people decide for themselves. It's the difference between somebody who's grateful for their gifts and somebody who feels entitled to success. Kendrick and Messi act like they honored to have these abilities. Drake act like the world owe him recognition. And the world can tell the difference. Real recognize real, and fake get exposed eventually. This brings us to a deeper truth about greatness. The most powerful people rarely need to tell you they're powerful. The most talented artists rarely need to convince you they're talented. The most blessed individuals rarely need to prove they're blessed. When Kendrick performed in Argentina, he didn't need to tell the crowd he was great. They could feel it. When Messi touched the ball, he don't need to announce his genius. Everyone can see it. Their gifts so obvious, so undeniable, that words become unnecessary. That's what supernatural talent look like. It ain't loud, it ain't desperate, it ain't manufactured, it just is. And everyone recognize it immediately. Drake, on the other hand, gotta constantly remind people of his success. He gotta post his streaming numbers, brag about his sales, manufacture beefs to stay relevant. It's the behavior of somebody who's not confident in their natural abilities. And here's the thing about manufactured success. It's exhausting. You gotta keep feeding the machine. You gotta keep creating content, generating buzz, staying in the conversation. There's no rest, no peace, no quiet confidence. But when you're blessed with natural talent like Kendrick and Messi, success feels effortless. Not because it don't require work, because the work feels natural, inevitable, right? Make sure y'all subscribe because we about to drop some life lessons. The lesson here ain't just about music or sports. It's about authenticity versus artificiality in everything we do. It's about the difference between being genuinely good at something and just being good at promoting yourself. In our social media age, we all tempted to be like Drake, to constantly promote ourselves, manufacture moments, beg for attention. But Kendrick and Messi show us a different path. They show us that authentic excellence will always find its audience. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room if you're the most talented. You don't need to constantly promote yourself if your work speaks for itself. You don't need to manufacture controversies if your authentic self is interesting enough. This applies whether you're an artist, an entrepreneur, a student, or just somebody trying to make their mark. The question ain't whether you got supernatural talent like Kendrick and Messi. The question is whether you're being authentic about whatever talents you do have. Are you letting your work speak for itself, or are you trying to convince people you're great? Are you quietly confident in your abilities, or are you desperately seeking validation? Are you grateful for your gifts, or you feel entitled to success? The answers to these questions will determine not just how successful you become, but how fulfilling that success feels. Because here's the final truth. Manufactured success might get you attention, but it won't get you respect. It might get you followers, but it won't get you genuine fans. It might get you temporary relevance, but it won't get you lasting legacy. Kendrick and Messi gonna be remembered long after their career's over because their greatness was real. Drake might be forgotten the moment he stopped promoting himself because his success was largely artificial. Ronaldo gonna be remembered too, not because he was naturally gifted like Messi, because his dedication was authentic. His grind was real. His transformation was genuine. Different path, same destination. Authentic greatness. The choice is yours. You can be like Kendrick and Messi, quietly confident in your authentic abilities. You can be like Ronaldo, grinding your way to greatness through genuine dedication. Desperately manufacturing relevance and hoping nobody notice the difference. But remember, the world always noticed the difference. Real recognize real, and fake get exposed eventually. So next time you tempted to oversell yourself, remember Kendrick in Argentina. 50,000 people singing his words back to him, not because he begged them to, but because his authentic talent earned their genuine respect. That's what effortless greatness look like. That's what supernatural talent sound like. And that's what happens when you stop trying to convince the world you great and start simply being great. The blessed don't need to announce their blessings. The gifted don't need to prove their gifts. The great don't need to manufacture their greatness. They just show up, do what they do, and let the world witness magic. If this breakdown opened your eyes to the difference between authentic and manufactured success, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that cuts through the noise. Because in a world full of Drakes desperately begging for attention, we need more Kendricks quietly changing the world with their gifts. Be authentic, be grateful, be great, and let your work do the talking. Your boy out. Keep it 100, stay blessed, and remember, when you got that divine favor, you don't gotta convince nobody. The gift speaks for itself. Peace.